All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am back on YouTube today. And maybe one or two people will show up today. You lose the faith of the people when you're not consistent. And it was not my desire to be inconsistent. Was not my desire. Carl, I'm not going to say who had it. It is back, and we are back good, and it will not be disappearing again. I apologize for all my people. Well, I apologize to everybody. The quality of that thing that happened yesterday was not, what I was kind of hoping for. And I couldn't be on YouTube yesterday, and I don't like that. Tria says it's her birthday weekend. Well, happy birthday. Brent, Carl, Cinnamon Fist, Purple Rain. Maria Smith. Let me get these. Russell. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's the week in review. Got a number of things, of course, to talk about, things that happened all week. And they are listening to the afternoon experience. D. Foster. The D. I got no excuse for not being ready today because Lincoln wasn't in here even in my way. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. Experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. 749-1230. It is the week in review. If it happened this week, you can talk about it. If we talked about it, you can talk about it. If I didn't get to it, you can talk about it. If you've heard it, you've seen it, you can talk about it. Here's what I can tell you I will not be doing today. All right? Here's what I will not be doing. I will not be wishing that people don't agree with me. I won't be wishing that they die. Okay? That's what I will not be doing. You can disagree with me, and I still wish you health and strength and prosperity. All right? I will not be wishing death on people who don't agree with me. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. I got things to talk about, but before I get to that, I see Teresa was on hold. It's the week in review, so let's see what Teresa has before I get into my stuff. If she's still there. Teresa?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I was waiting for Lincoln, and I don't know what happened.
He went off.
Like 10 people in front of me. I don't know what happened with that.
Well, what's on your mind?
I wanted to tell Lincoln that God is coming back, but that was just, I really want to tell him. He don't believe God's coming back. He's coming back. But I was talking about also
Can you
this.
hold on? Can you take me off the speaker?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I can take you off the speaker. Yeah. So where was I at? I forgot where I was at.
God is coming back.
Yep. Lincoln said he don't believe it, but yeah, he is. And then with this vaccine thing, with Biden mandating a lot of the vaccines, I still think it's wrong. I just think that people should be able to make that choice. I'm okay with people getting tested every week, but to mandate it is just, I don't know. And then Lincoln goes on to say, he calls people names. You're stupid. You're foolish. You're going to die, be on the ventilator. That's not for him to call. It's people that take the vaccine that's going to. Those things are going to happen also. So.
Well, it is terrible to hear someone wish harm and death on people because they don't share their point of view. That is bad. But I understand his perspective. If he, and for whatever reason, apparently he's seen antibodies. I'm sorry. He apparently has seen antibodies, and I imagine that could be a jarring experience. And so he really believes that people should get that vaccine, and in his mind, I'm sure that's his way of trying to convince people to take it, wishing that they die if they don't. So.
Well, yeah. All right, that's it. Yeah, I'll get with Lincoln Monday. I don't know what happened, but I was in. He was going to get me, and then 10 other people came before me, and then he had to go. I was like, okay.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. 749-1230 is the afternoon experience. I wanted to talk to Lincoln. I wanted to ask him, what did the antibodies look like? What did they say? What did they say when you saw them? Did they talk to you? Oh, I'm sorry. That just entertained me. 749-1230. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. And no, we are not Vaccine Central or Anti-Vaccine Central. It's the week in review. And so if it happened this week, you can talk about it. And yeah, the coronavirus is still going on. So if people want to talk about it, they can. But I got a lot of other stuff to talk about. Let's see. What did we discuss this week? Hold on a moment, Emmanuel. What did we discuss this week? This week we discussed this fentanyl-laced drugs going around. It's killing people. This week we discussed how unfair the family court system is. This week we discussed, what did we discuss? What else did we discuss?
Why they don't like you.
Ow.
I didn't know. I realized it was up there. Wow. But why they don't like you, why they don't like me, and why they don't like about the buzz in general. We
did discuss that this week as well. Why don't y'all like me? I'm a nice guy. That was discussed. What else did we discuss? We talked about choices. We talked about how to deal with the issues in our community, specifically in our community. That's not to say, oh, black on black crime is worse than any other crime. Crime is crime, and we realize and we recognize that. But sometimes we talk about how we can improve our situation. And, I discussed that everything wasn't making excuses. Some things are reasons. You call things that you don't care about solving excuses. Other things, problems. We talked about, yes, the baby box, how people can just drop their children off in a literal box.
Which gradually morphed into a conversation about black fathers.
And the good black fathers who want to take care of their children. So we talked about that. What else did we hit a number of topics this week, and if you want to talk about any of them, you can. And
we talked about teachers gone wild, didn't we?
Yeah, teachers went crazy, taping masks to people's mouths and stuff like that. We talked about a number of things, but I got a number of other things that I want to discuss as well. 513-749-1230 888-866-1230. If we talked about something and you didn't get a chance to get in, you can give me a call and talk about it. And I got, of course, some other stories for you. Let me get Emanuel in here. Emanuel, you're on the buzz.
You okay, Emanuel? Is it quiet in the studio now? Huh?
What did you say?
I said, is it quiet in the studio? Last time I talked to you, you wanted it real quiet. You know, it's hard to get quiet in the studio, and then you're talking on the phone and you're driving and all that stuff. But anyway, man, I want you to answer this question for
Yes,
me.
sir.
Why do people gravitate and get upset about the truth? They are ready to fight you about a lie, but the truth they don't want to accept it. You know, you get these individuals in these positions, and they can do it in front of your face, and then they get upset when you say something about it.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying in general with people that think whatever they say should go if it's a lie. And if it's the truth, they don't respond to the truth.
Okay, Omar, I think that you might actually have a specific situation in mind, and you're trying to not say it, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just talking about in general, because I mean every day, if somebody tells the truth, they respond like it's a lie.
Who?
People in general.
Okay.
You know, in general.
In general.
And it be the people that be in the positions to want to tell the truth. You know, and I look at this racketeering that they're doing here in the city. How can an individual be in Charlie Winburn position in a perfect example.
All right.
They pimped him with this thing for taxes. That thing has been out for years, for a few years that they've praised him. Then they take him off of a job, you understand, and then give him another job in that position without voting. And I mean, it seems like that's racketeering. That is pure racketeering. They're in charge, and whatever they say should go.
Maybe my understanding of what racketeering is flawed, because you're saying someone being appointed to
it's just like the council people down there. You know, they busting them for for fraud and all them other. What are the people that committed the fraud with them?
Well, they were working with the law enforcement to set them up.
Yeah, but where are they? That's the same way with murders. Every day, here we have shootings every day. They give no information or report on why these young people are being killed and shot.
Okay.
And we should stand up about that. It's crazy. They keep getting away with it, and they do the plea bargaining and all that there, and man, that's why this system that's in place is having so much trouble with it.
Okay.
And we too grown for that. And it's a shame that they continue to let it go on.
All right. Well,
have you heard any reports after all these young children and people being shot? Have you heard the police department come and give a report on what is causing that? They need to fire them people.
Wait, fire who for what?
The people that because they're not doing their job. They're not doing the job, good job. That's why they should fire them.
Omar, Who should be fired? Who are you calling on to be fired? The police?
I mean, somebody needs to, that's it, somebody's down there in charge. Someone's in charge. Someone's in charge, man.
All right. I'm sorry, Omar. I'm trying to understand, and I know you're trying to not call people out, but
I mean, it ain't to calling them out. You can always, everybody can call them out. If we go ahead and fight properly for what's going on, you know, you got crime going on down there, and then they pardon them people, but they let some of them go, and then the rest of them they don't do nothing to anyway.
who got pardoned?
Huh?
Who got pardoned?
No, I'm just saying in general, they you know, they get away with stuff. They getting away with it. They continue to get away with it.
All right. Well, Omar, I appreciate your call.
All right, I would just like to bring it up because, you know, when you tell the truth, they upset. But when if you tell a lie, they don't have nothing to say. But anyway, all right, thanks, man.
All right. That's Omar. And something should be done, just in general, about it. What is it? Just in general. And somebody should be fired for it. Who should be? Just in general, somebody. And what is it? Just in general. Okay. I agree. Somebody should be fired for it. And we should stand up against it. Or, depending on which it is, for it. In general. Got to take a quick break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 FM, 1230 AM. The Buzz of Cincinnati is your talk station. Let's go! From 6 to 10.
I don't know Tennessee whiskey. I really don't know the song. Everybody, again, I know, people are still coming in, and I'm glad you guys decided to come back after yesterday. I apologize for yesterday. It won't happen again, and or at least I hope it doesn't happen again. And thank you guys for hanging with me yesterday, dealing with that, and for coming back today. I appreciate you, and that's it, I guess. I appreciate you. If y'all can't tell, I feel really bad about yesterday. I really do. Wait, what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday is, the equipment wasn't here, so I had to live stream only on my phone, and it was what I felt like was a weird angle, and it was, I couldn't go on YouTube, I couldn't go on Twitch, I could only broadcast on one, so that's what I'm apologizing for. But I don't want to promise nothing, but there might be some very slight, hopefully noticeable changes Monday. And hopefully there'll be changes for the better. Hopefully there'll be changes for the better. Is that a Gatlinburg themed shirt? No. I was at I think I got this at Nordstrom Rack. I just saw it and I liked the color. I liked the color of the ink. And so I got it. I don't drink whiskey. I was about to say I've never been to Tennessee, but of course I've been to Tennessee. But I don't hang out in Tennessee. Bomani says, who stole your equipment? Somebody moved it, and it's back, and it's been dealt with. No, they won't. Nobody's changing me. I'm saying there might be a slight improvement. There might be, hopefully, a slight improvement, and hopefully it'll be a noticeable improvement on Monday. I'm not promising that, which I really shouldn't even said it. But I'm not promising that it will, but I hope that it is. They want Raven. They want Raven to explain what Omar was talking about. Cinnamon Fist said, I still gave you a thumbs up for the video yesterday. Thank you. Thank you. Do I need security? No, I don't need security. I don't need security. All right. Here we go. Two minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Oh, also, what did we talk about this week? We talked about abortion a little bit this week. I let the women talk about abortion. Now, I'll tell you, the story. Of course, by now, in Texas, 6 weeks. No abortions after 6 weeks. They can still do them, but they can get sued by citizens. Citizens can sue people. I did hear some talk earlier in the week on a different show where somebody was saying, well, what about rape? And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was on one of the shows, and she was saying, hey, just so you know, some people don't even know they're pregnant until after a few weeks of missing their period. You can say period on the radio, can't you? Yeah. On a few weeks of missing their period, so they might not know if they were raped. They may not know that they're pregnant until after 6 weeks. And I'm not a woman, but I thought, and I'm going to ask Miss Mundy this. Can you go get a pregnancy test like at any time?
They have rapid response tests, but like it's not always 100%. Like you would have to definitely go to a doctor, I guess, and have them tell you. But I've never taken a pregnancy test. I've never had to. I've never had a pregnancy scare. So I really don't know. Like I'm not even fully sure. I don't know.
So it's possible that if a person gets raped today, they may not even be able to go get a pregnancy test for 8 weeks.
It's a possibility. Like I said, early detection is hard. Like, especially because I'll say this much, because I watch a lot of different YouTubers, and some of them are female, some of them are raising a family and going through the pregnancy process. So I guess through that I've learned a few things. Like I know when a certain YouTuber that I watched, when she and her husband were trying to get pregnant, they had to keep testing for a few weeks until a test actually showed up as positive, because the first couple of tests didn't show anything. So it's very hard to detect pregnancy in them first couple of weeks. Like unless it's something like drastic where something might be like off with your pregnancy, I'm pretty sure it is quite hard to tell them first couple of weeks. They do, like I said, they do have rapid response tests, but even after that, they still do suggest you go to your primary care physician or your OBGYN and get tested that way, because it's more accurate. But like if you just got raped, you probably ain't trying to like. It depends on where your mental state is. Like I'm probably not rushing to the nearest pharmacy to get a pregnancy test. And then if I take a pharmacy pregnancy test and they tell me that it's negative, I'm not going to the doctor and embarrassing myself all over again to take a pregnancy test. Like it just don't work. It's not that black and white.
So it's possible that you can't get a pregnancy test.
It's possible that in a 6 week span it may not even cross your mind, especially depending on how your period fall and all that stuff. Like you might, if you somebody who has a pretty normal period and it always comes at the same time, you might be more aware. But if you somebody like me who would just kind of come when it like you're probably not gonna figure I might be pregnant. You gonna wait a couple weeks to figure it out, and by the time you finish waiting for your period to come around, it might be too late.
It might have been 6 weeks.
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, again, I ask these questions. I'm not a woman. I've never had a period. I've never, any of that kind of stuff. But like, say they said to me, hey, after 6 weeks of having, I don't know, syphilis, you can't get a shot for it. And something happened to me, and I thought it was even a possibility that I could have got syphilis, I'd be up in the doctor's office like, check me for syphilis again today. Well, you didn't have it yesterday. Check me again. I got 6 weeks. I need to check every day. And if anything show up, give me the shot. You know what I'm saying? It would seem to me, and I don't have an opinion about abortion, but it would seem like to me, if you got raped, you would, within the first 6 weeks, if you're in Texas, you might say, hey, let me see if I'm pregnant, because I got a decision to make whether I'm going to keep the baby or not. And only I have that decision to make. But I know here in Texas, if it's been 6 weeks, they try to take that decision from me. So I want to take control of my body. And I want to know where I stand. But that was just me thinking, as a man. As a man. So, thank you. I learned some things. 749-1230. Let me get this break in here. Marquetta, Zakia, you ladies are on the way. And if y'all want to, y'all can talk about abortion. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't have an opinion. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Here's what you need to know with Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what?
Why you get to talk about it, but no other male can. I'm not talking about abortion. I don't have an opinion on it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the availability of pregnancy tests. That's what I'm talking about. Monty says if you burn your T-shirt on the steps of TQL Stadium, you'll break the curse on FC Cincinnati. Oh, interesting. That's funny. It's Friday. Yes, it is, James Muhammad. Burden says, smart, just think if all young ladies was thinking like you. Janice says, unfortunately, as a man, you have absolutely no way of trying to think like a woman. Exactly. Yeah, no. I'm not. That's why I said I was thinking like, I guess, if you want to say thinking like a man. I don't know if all men think alike. Maybe all women do. But I was thinking like me and thinking I would go get tested so that I could know what I was doing. And that's just me thinking like me. I can't think like a woman. I really don't know what a woman thinks in that situation. Maybe at that point she forgets about the fact that pregnancy tests even exist. I don't know. I have no idea. Because I'm not a woman and I can't think like a woman. Like I be using, reason and logic and stuff. And I'm not saying that women don't. I don't know what women use because I can't think like a woman. Janice, you're right. Absolutely no way of trying to think like a woman. Jerica says, if you're still having your cycle, you don't know to test. Okay, so women believe, this is from a woman, or at least this is what I took from it. That's a woman saying that if there's a woman who's still having her cycle, she doesn't know that she could be pregnant and still have her cycle. Women apparently don't know that. So, okay. That's a little bit of insight. It's a little bit of insight. Now, I actually knew that. I knew that. But apparently women don't know that. And I'm not saying that. Women, don't get mad at me. I'm not saying. I just read a comment. Just read a comment. Don't be mad at me. Do not take it out on me. Scott says some women can be pregnant and still have their cycle. Yes, but apparently, according to some of the comments, apparently women don't know that. Scott, you know that. And I know that, but we're men. Jerica says that's why people don't like you. Jerica, I didn't say it. I just read the comment. I'm not making any any calls on this stuff at all. I'm a man. I don't know how to think like a woman. I'm not trying to think like a woman. I just know how to think like me. I don't even know how to think like a man. I just know how to think like me. Because I know a number of men, and we don't think alike. Like, I can think of right now 4 different men, and all 4 of us think totally differently about things. But apparently, women all think the same. I don't know. 33 minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati with your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon on the other side of the glass. I did introduce you earlier, didn't I? Raven Mundy. She is your favorite millennial.
I got a theory.
Uh-oh. Hit me.
I feel like some days you be coming in here and you be like purposely not acknowledging me because you feel some type of way about me, but you ain't figured out how to tell me yet.
What?
But it's okay. It's okay.
Hold on. What type of way might I feel about you?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Because when I'm quiet, I feel like you don't like when I'm quiet, and so you try to pick a fight with me to get me riled up. And when I don't bite, it'd be like, yeah, I ain't introducing her today.
Really?
Yes.
Let me clear this up. I never try to pick a fight with you. I just appreciate your insight in things. You're a younger person. You're of another gender. You're like smarter. You lighter skin. You know what I'm saying? All of that, all of those differences. I
blame you for so many comments that I get. Where did this light skin stuff come from?
I didn't say you light skin. I said you're lighter than I am.
Yeah, I forgot, because according to you, I'm not light skin.
You are not. So yeah, you just offer a different perspective, and so I like to hear your perspective. Never trying to pick a fight. Never trying to rile you up. Ever.
It don't feel like that.
749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Let me go to the phone. It's the Week in Review. If it happened this week, you can talk about it. Marquetta, you're on the buzz.
Hi, Emmanuel. Hey, Raven.
Hey.
Okay, so we didn't talk about it, I don't think, but I've been dropping links in the chat about the Louisiana police and all of those videos they have. They have like 5 years worth of the Louisiana State Police doing police brutality that nobody said anything about. Like if you were found with marijuana in your car, you'd be smacked in the face with a flashlight. The one man, his whole right side of his face and jaw was broke.
Oh.
I dropped the link into the chat. And then also Hawaii's first responders filed a class action lawsuit against the state's mandatory vaccination policy that Mr. Ware was so excited about. Here you have, again, firefighters, and these are native Hawaiians. So you have to think, America is saying you have the right to practice your religion, you have the right to freedom of speech, you have the right to your purpose or whatever. And then you come in with a mandatory vaccination that's against all of those things. So also in the links that I was dropping in your live chat, I had called you. I said, hey, man, look at this. It was the firefighter was crying because he was saying after 23 years of service, I have been servicing this state, administering ventilation to those with COVID. I've been exposed to COVID several times. I still haven't got it. I don't heard it. You know, he was saying, and I'm not wanting the vaccination. And my relationship with God is between me and my relationship with God. You can't come in and mandatorily do something as the state over my relationship with God. So it's a class action lawsuit. Many more to come. My thing is not so much anti-vaccination. It's more the attack on the labor force, the outright lies. Because in that video, the lawyer references 45,000 deaths after taking the shot. You know, casualties, obviously, of Big Pharma and their experimentation. But even the shot that we have, it's a base protection for those with weak immunity systems or who just come across it. If you come across it and your immune system is strong enough, you might fight through it without the ventilation, etc., and still have some after effects. But those who have a weaker immune system need the vaccine shot. But even if you have that, COVID-19 is gone. They tell us that all the time. Is Lambda, Delta, and Mu. Those are the new variants that are going to become the predominant things in the country. So even your vaccination after 7 or 8 months, you're going to need a booster shot for those new variants. Lastly, this abortion thing. You know, you have to have a uterus to really empathize with not going to get a pregnancy test after being raped. The fear of, you know, being raped. You know, the consequences of finding out that you're pregnant and then telling somebody. You know, the economic factors. You know, the cost of having to get the abortion if needed. You know, the safety issues of the other children that might be involved. And it's not that men shouldn't speak on it.
No, they shouldn't. I'm going to disagree with you there. Men shouldn't speak on it. Men shouldn't think about it. Men shouldn't have an opinion about it. But go ahead.
It's the irony that you say that while men make the decision on that. And that's really the fight, that I can't come to you and say you should get a vasectomy until you are stable and married. I can't come to you and say every time that you masturbate, that semen needs to go to a, you know, reproduction factory where they artificially inseminate eggs for people who so desperately want children. And here you are wasting away your semen all in towels and in socks. You should be arrested. You know, in South America, they imprison women who have miscarriages. They imprison women who have ectopic pregnancies, or when you get pregnant in your tubes. America still has incest and rape, even if you don't have abortion. But the out is, and the safety and the precaution is, women are saying, hey, you know, this is a hard choice for me to make. Again, the state should not come in and mandate that I not have the right to liberty, freedom, and the right to pursue my American dream. And if we really believe in that Constitution and the Bill of Rights, all of that is on the table. It's under attack. You know, and then I'll close with this. The more that we move away from our core inner cities into these suburbs, even if you are Democratic, the Republicans, this is their last stronghold on gerrymandering in the state of Ohio. So if we don't really get out and push for the vote, we'll see more stuff like Tierra Powers on the news. Did you see that, Emanuel, where they closed down the grocery store in Westwood and turned it into a plasma donation center? And this is like the only grocery store within a 10 or 15 mile radius for the majority of the low-income black people in that area. It's now a blood donation center. You know, when you have nobody at the table vying for you, the city council and the politicians, they'll come in and they'll give that money to developers, you know, and not care about the larger community good. So I just want to get that out there. No hard feelings, and you have a great weekend.
All right, no hard feelings whatsoever, and you have a great weekend as well. 749-1230. Again, men, don't even think about abortion. Don't think about whether it's right or whether it's wrong, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's legal, whether it's illegal, whether women should have a choice over their body or whether they shouldn't. Just don't even think about it. That way you're safe. You're safe. 749-1230. Zakia, you're on the buzz.
Your Highness, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Zakia.
Well, good. Let's see. I want to say this. Charlie Winburn is not being pimped out by anyone. You know, so just, wow, he is doing so much for so many people. And he sincerely wants to help other people.
Well, look. I get that you believe that. But some other people believe something different. Like, I mean, just like you can share your thoughts and your opinions and your experiences with Mr. Winburn. Other people, you know, don't share that. And I allow them the opportunity to share their thoughts and their opinion.
And you're absolutely correct about that. Absolutely. But it just kind of, it does something to me, you know, when I hear all of that negativity coming across. But, you know, that's all right, because the more they hate on him, you know, the more God bless him. So it's okay.
I'll be honest, I don't know that it works like that. I don't think God is sitting around saying, all right, let me see. He don't like him, so let me bless him a little more. Oh, he said something bad about him. Let me bless him a little more. Just like, you know, if ain't nobody hating on you, God's like, oh, I ain't got to bless him because ain't nobody hating on him. I genuinely don't believe that God operates on the premise that the more people hate on you, the more I'm going to bless you, because that would leave some really good people who people don't hate on out in the cold.
Okay, that's your opinion, and you said you made some good statements there, but if he feels that the more someone attacks him, the more God blesses him, then, you know, he should be able to feel that way as well, because he knows his situation, it's his life, and he knows what he's all about. And for people that have taken the time to get to know him, then they understand what I'm saying. But at any rate, moving on. You said with the baby box that someone will be there immediately to get a baby out of the baby box?
Yes, there's apparently a sensor in there that alerts whomever is at that facility as soon as someone puts it in there. There's a sensor in there that alerts them, and they come and get the baby.
Okay. Now, and my last point is, what about the morning after pill? I'm just saying this is another way to look at this situation. If I have been raped, I'm not going to take a chance that I might be pregnant. How about taking the morning after pill? And that will eliminate all of that.
Okay, look, I don't know. You said morning after pill. That kind of sounds somewhere in the abortion arena. And so I don't even know what a morning after pill is. I have no thoughts on it, and I'm a man.
Just because you're a man does not mean that you should not have a thought about
Yes,
it.
it does.
Not
I've heard, you know how many women I've heard say men shouldn't say anything about it, men shouldn't think about it. It's a woman's body, it's a woman's choice, and men should stay out of it. I'm taking those women's advice. I have no thoughts on it.
Okay, well, some people feel the way that they feel, right?
Yes.
But then at the same time, if you're in a relationship with someone, I think that the two parties need to discuss it. Because after all, it's 50% his baby and 50% hers.
Apparently you're wrong. Women have told me no matter what, it's a woman's choice and men shouldn't even think about it. So that's
Just
that.
because some women have told you that does not mean that I'm wrong.
Oh.
I understand what they're saying. I understand the economic part of it, the economic part of it. I get it. But if we're talking about abortion, you know, like she didn't get pregnant by herself.
Okay.
She didn't get pregnant by herself. Now, I feel that men should not be making laws and stuff like that about abortions because they don't know what it's all about. Or maybe they do. Maybe they have taken the time, you know, to listen and to work on this situation. Because we see every election time, we seem to have the same issue coming up.
All right.
So apparently it's something that's really, really, really important to a lot of people.
All right.
Okay?
All
You all
right,
have a
Zakia.
great weekend.
You do the same. All right. 749-1230. Look. Y'all not getting me in that conversation. I'm not getting in that argument. I'm not getting in the debate. Nothing. You say what you want to say, and I'm just trying to not think on those lines. In no way. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the Black Business Spotlight. This
I had to distract myself while she was talking about abortion because I found myself thinking about it. So I just had to look around the room and distract myself from the voices in my head talking about abortion. Just block them out. Just, oh, the drop down ceiling. Oh, there's an emergency light. Oh, there's a speaker. Oh, there's a wall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna make me think about abortion. I'm a man. Yes, I was distracting myself. Otherwise, I would have been thinking about what she was saying. Yes, Zakia was trying to bait me, but I had a trick for her. Distract yourself by looking around. I'm not. Y'all not getting me. And look, I'm not even gonna say women shouldn't talk about men's stuff. Like, you know, Viagra. Women shouldn't have a thought on whether or not Viagra is paid for by health insurance. Women shouldn't have a thought on erections, and women shouldn't have a thought on, the male reproductive whatever. I'm not gonna go that far because I don't mind women, having thoughts and opinions on things even if they don't personally experience them. I think it's a human thing to do, is to have thoughts. I think it's a human thing to do, to have thoughts. But, I'm not gonna have an opinion or tell women they can't have an opinion. They can. And I don't begrudge them having an opinion. You can have a thought about everything because you're a human, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, you can have a thought about everything. So, yes, even if the erection is not working correctly, you can have thoughts about it. Glenn said, you want women to legislate apples and walnuts? All right. Glenn wants women to legislate apples and walnuts for men. All right. Eight minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5, the Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 749-1230. It is the week in review. If it happened this week, you can talk about it. If it happened this week, you can talk about it. 749-1230. Sometimes I just have thoughts and they make me laugh. A simple thought makes me laugh. Let me go back to the phone. Blade, you're on the Buzz.
Hey, how's it going, my friend?
It's going all right.
I want to tell you a great conversation this week. When I hear people, I say, I guess they just don't know. America has gave the woman psychological power over the black man because I guess the black woman thinks the black man is her enemy. Black men are so powerful they use their mind. What if all black men in this country decided not even get black American women pregnant and go outside and go to South America where there's more black women in America and get them pregnant? Then what would black women say then?
That's not going to happen.
Well, we need, these young brothers need to take power because it seems like instead of us coming together, it seems like women want to get power. And what's bad about the power they trying to get over is they get permission by the white man. So it's not really real power.
Huh?
Is this sad? And when you look in the Bible, that man came from God and woman came from man. That's why I think.
Our God?
Excuse me?
So what? Man is our God?
Man came from God, woman came from man.
Okay, and what's the point you're making?
That what y'all really jealous of, y'all hate God.
Blade, let me tip you to some game.
But you're taking it.
God created woman because man
God.
wasn't enough. So if anything, by your logic, women are literally God's gift to men. So let's not even go with that. We're not even finna have that rhetoric right now.
Hey, Raven, I bet you your whole month's check, what I just said, is Bible, and what you're saying is not Bible. Do you want to go there?
Blade, I'm not even sure you have a check, so I'm not finna play that game with you.
No, I'm not playing games. I'm serious. Go look in the Bible. What I just said, it came from.
I know my Bible quite well.
I would take
God
them.
created
You
woman
get what?
because man was not
what?
enough because man needed help.
You get paid every 2 weeks? So don't play with me when it comes to money. But anyway, like I was saying, I was trying to get to my point too. I was really interrupted. And besides, you don't know about Billy D, so you cannot talk to me.
If you say so, Blade.
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm trying to keep it real for us to come together because when you listen what Biden said and you listen to, even though Lincoln is playing, these people are not playing. Biden had declared war on black people. And when you listen what Lincoln said about that report, what that black woman, what that report said said majority of black people are got the so-called variants are getting this. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna start rounding y'all up. The ones that refuse not to take the shot. So I think y'all better realize that y'all been played, and people around y'all are gonna help y'all get locked up. So keep on playing and don't want to listen to me, and you'll be calling me to get you out of them cages. Peace out.
All right, that's Blade. A whole lot of that didn't make sense. But I still don't get the whole Billy D thing. I don't get the whole Billy D thing, but it is hilarious to me.
I'm so confused. What does that even mean? And first of all, let me just clarify. I know exactly who the hell Billy D. Williams is. So the claim don't even make sense.
But you don't know when he got his perm, though.
It don't matter when why would I know that?
I think
who knows that by heart?
I think that's the most important part.
Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
Then when is it?
If I tell you, then you'll know. But it's
Okay,
something
so then,
about you knowing,
Emmanuel,
you
if you're
finding
my
out
elder,
that gives
if you're my
you.
mentor and I'm asking you to give me the answer to something and you have the answer, but you're denying me the answer because it's funny, that makes you a very bad elder. I just want you to know that.
Okay, I can't share with you when he got his perm. You
And
gotta.
then y'all wonder why us black children and our black youth is lost out here because y'all won't answer simple questions.
Y'all lost because y'all don't know when Billy D got that
But
perm.
you know and you won't tell me. So like.
There's something. It's the journey. You have to take the
What
journey.
the hell is the journey of figuring out when Billy D. Williams first got a perm? What the hell is that journey?
You have to take the journey to find out. You have to take the journey to find out. You must walk your own
This is
path.
why young people don't ask our elders for advice, because y'all play games.
You have to walk your own
This
path.
is exactly why we don't talk to y'all. Y'all play too many games.
749-1230. That's the number to get on board. How did Billy D become a thing? 749-1230. I don't know why that is so funny to me. Why is that so funny to me? That should not be that funny. Let me do this. Remember the black lady? I can't stop laughing about Billy D. Remember?
And you prove my point. Like every single time, I be trying so hard to be quiet. You pick a fight with me, Emmanuel.
I didn't pick a fight with you. Blade brought up Billy D. I didn't bring up Billy D.
But you kept it going.
Remember the black woman in Chicago who the police, he tried to throw her down. She had a little dog. She was walking her little dog. Well, she has spoken out. She has spoken out about the situation. And one of the things that she said was, I knew if he got me on the floor, I would be dead. I knew if he got me on the floor, I would be dead. Now, I can't say that that's so, right? I can't say that that's true. But the thought of it is true. And if you're in law enforcement, you work, in any capacity just about, that should scare you. That you're in a situation now, or it should worry you, maybe not scare you, it should worry you, it should bother you, that the black community, by and large, is of the mindset that you're out to get them. And of the mindset that if a law enforcement official gets me, there's a good possibility that I'm dead. That should bother you. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I want to get into with this story. But just the fact that, and as I say this, when she said it, when I was watching the interview, and she said, I knew if he got me on the floor, I would be dead. She said she was calling someone just so that they knew, if you call me tomorrow, I am either and I don't answer, I am either in jail or I'm dead. And when she said it, I was thinking, yep. Yep. But that is such an unhealthy attitude to have. But it's almost the only attitude that we as black people almost, because there are some black people who they feel they're safest around law enforcement. But a lot of us are like, whether I've ever done anything wrong or not, I see what's going on in the world, in this country. And if he get me, I'm probably dead. Let me take a break. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WDC Cincinnati.
Janice says that you got him today with the Bible analysis. Let me disagree with your Bible analysis. God did not make women because men were not enough. That is not why he made woman. The man was plenty. But God said it's not good for him to be alone. That don't mean he's not sufficient. Because he had a plan. Which is, that goes to that whole, a woman can't be a man and a man can't be a woman and switching genders and all that kind of stuff. Exactly. God showed how it was supposed to be. He said he can't be alone. Let me make him a woman, not let me make him another man. But that's a whole other conversation. That's a different conversation. He could do by himself. He had been doing by himself. He had basically did all the work. Oh, my goodness. And the Billy D thing is just hilarious. Three minutes after. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. That's the number to get on board. Larry, you're on the buzz.
Hey, how you doing, Emanuel?
Larry, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm just really puzzled about this Blade guy. I mean, I listen to this guy. I've been listening to Lincoln. He usually keeps a roster of who calls in too much. But this guy, Blade, is absolutely amazing. And I don't see how anything he says is funny, because this guy either goes to sleep with the phone in his hand and have Lincoln on hold and have you on hold, and he gets on the air. He's in Indiana, grant you.
Maybe.
I bet he has no girlfriend. I would love to meet his parents, because I can't believe there's no one on this planet that created a person that is so ignorant and so arrogant that gets on this radio and talks like he does about black people and black women. And it really upsets me that you guys sit up there and laugh at this guy. This guy is a joke. That's why you call him Blade, because I guarantee you when he walks around the neighborhood, he better have a bunch of knives on him, because I guarantee you in Indiana, he probably stays in the house. So I can't imagine having a girlfriend or any friends. Only friends he's got is you guys on the air. That's his main friend, is talking to you guys. He is a radio talk show groupie. That's all he is, and he's ridiculous. And I'm going to say this one more thing.
All right.
Because if you notice, every time he makes a comment, before you can react to his stupid first comment, he switches gears so fast that your head spins around, and he goes to something else before you can even react to the first stuff he said. But anyways, you have a blessed day, and you guys keep tolerating this guy. I don't know why you do it, but hey, it's entertainment. But good luck with him, because he's a joke. Thank you.
All right. Larry is mad at Blade.
It's not that we're friends with Blade. We just understand that his ridiculous antics are never going to change. And so why try and poke and pry?
Yeah, I'm not.
It's not lost on us that every time he says something stupid, he changes the subject. We're well aware of that.
I'm not fighting with Blade. He says what he says, and then he moves on. And then I move on. 749-1230. Hey, check this out. I saw this story. This is out of the UK. And I think here in the United States of America, workers are treated badly. And I'm not talking about coronavirus vaccines and all of that kind of stuff, mandates and whatnot, even though I think that's bad as well. But I'm just talking about in general. Here in the United States, workers are treated bad. Other places around the world, there are things that workers can do to address their situations. But y'all know here it's this, well, you're an at-will employee. That means I can fire you because you had a hair out of place and just say, I didn't like his hair today. He's fired. And there's almost nothing you can do about it. There's almost nothing you can do about it. Look, I don't study employee and employer relations around the world. But from time to time, I see a story, and I think, we need something like that. We need something like that here. A woman who says her employer denied her request to finish work at 5 p.m. instead of 6 so she could collect her daughter from daycare. She won $254,000 after a legal challenge. Yeah, a real estate manager, she said her employer failed to seriously consider her request for work flexibility. Alice Thompson, she asked her employer, the independent UK real estate agency Manners, if she could reduce her hours after she returned from maternity leave following the birth of her daughter. She wanted to finish at 5 p.m. rather than 6 so she could pick up her daughter from daycare. And she asked to work a 4-day work week. Now, I know for some people right now, y'all thinking, if you don't like the job, just go get another job. They don't have to do that for you. You ain't, because y'all got a different mentality. Whereas I think employers should treat employees with respect and be willing to be flexible where they can. I know some of y'all don't. So this is going to seem, the rest of the story is going to seem really strange to you, okay? But just check it out. So she asked to leave at 5 instead of 6, and she asked to work a 4-day work week. Her employer refused and failed to make a counter offer. She then resigned from her role in December of 2019 and took her employer to an employment tribunal. Yeah, they have these. They have these employment tribunals. She says if they needed me to work the full hours, maybe 8 till 5 instead of 9 till 6, that's something I could have worked around. And she says, how am I supposed to have careers and family? She says it's 2021, not 1971. Well, she was successful with one of her claims. And the tribunal says she suffered indirect sex discrimination when her request for flexible working was not properly considered. The tribunal ruled that put her at a disadvantage to her colleagues. So what they awarded her was interest, loss of income, pension payments, as well as money for, quote, loss of feelings. That's what the tribunal report said. Because check it out. Again, I know this all sounds crazy, but roll with me here for just a second. Under UK employment law, employees with more than 26 weeks of service have a right to ask for work flexibility. Employers then have to consider their requests. They gotta seriously consider. Now, they can deny it on the grounds that it could be detrimental to the business. They could deny it if it adds additional cost to the business, or if it creates an inability to meet customer demand. All of those things are reasonable grounds for denying it. But they have to seriously consider it. That sounds like super weird here in the United States, don't it? That I should be able to go to my employer and say, hey, check it out. I know y'all want me to work 9 to 5, but it would work out much better for me. Like, I got to pick up my child, so can I do 7 to 3? And that they would have to then consider it like, can he get his work done from 7 to 3? Okay, interesting. He could actually do the work from 7 to 3. And then if it doesn't mess up anything for the company, they kind of got to let me do it. If I say, hey, look, let me just do a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week. Can he get his work done in 4 days? Say, well, no, because he does a talk show 5 days a week. So if he only does 4 days, that creates an undue hardship on us. I'm sorry, but we can't allow you to do that. But here is what we can allow you to do. Instead of working that many hours, we'll cut down the hours all 5 days of the week. And then I'll be like, okay, sure. Yeah, let's go with that. And then everybody's happy. But according to UK employment laws, they have to do things like that. I know, that sounds crazy to us, don't it? That's it. Like, there are people listening right now who are mad. They mad right now. How that woman gonna take them to court and sue them because she wanna work different hours? The company get to decide what hours you work. You don't decide. The company decide. Some of y'all mad. But it worked different. That's the way it should work here.
We live in a not even a country, but we live in a world. No, I can't even really say a world, because it's like we're saying here, it's countries who actually respect their employed class. But like, we do live in a country where it's been conditioned over generations that you have no power. You just show up, you clock in, and whatever they tell you to do, for however long they tell you to do it, ain't no questions asked. You're not supposed to ask for no type of work-life balance. You're not supposed to expect any kind of, break or any kind of vacation time for real. A lot of these jobs out here don't even give vacation time. Like, it's a shock nowadays to run into a job that's even offering vacation time, or even like, how hard it is for women to for who work regular like customer service jobs to get maternity leave. When I worked at Macy's, it was this girl who I worked with who got pregnant. They basically told her, like, you might as well quit because we're not giving you maternity leave. Like, our workforce in this country is ridiculous, and we've been so conditioned over generations to just take whatever is being tossed at us, take whatever's been thrown our way. Just take it. They give you money, and because they give you money, whatever they dish out, you take it. Yeah, that's the world we live in.
We kind of feel like here, some people here kind of feel like if you work for a company, they own you. And if you don't want them to own you, then go find another job.
Go find a different owner.
Right. But yeah, you can go before a tribunal and say, hey, I want to work slightly different hours. Is that okay? Now I know, we got, some jobs do that here. Some jobs have unions. I worked at a union shop, and there are some strong unions. There's also some weak unions. And we kind of move towards that, but in this country, it's all about profits. It's all about money. It's not about people. It's not about lives here. And really, they have convinced a lot of us that that's the best way to go. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. But when I saw this story, I don't really have a whole lot to add to this story except you go, girl. And just maybe for some of the people out there who think that this sounds crazy, that employees should have rights and that companies should have to work with employees after they've been there for a certain amount of time. They should have to work with them to do what's best for the company as well as for the person. Maybe you should start rethinking that. Just maybe. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz, connecting you to information and events happening around the city and around the tri-state. Here's what's
Anthony says Germany has strong unions. I saw airports and train systems shut down during strikes. All right. I got to talk a little bit about this R. Kelly case. Got to talk just a little bit about R. Kelly. James said Larry was really upset with Blade. He was mad at me too for, I guess, taking Blade's call and letting him say what he said. Glenn says, I work for a foreign company in Mason. It's a different corporate mindset. Yeah. I had never heard of their employment tribunals, but I do like the fact that, the company have to seriously consider it. They have to have a legit reason why they say no. And they have to give you like a counter offer. Because as somewhere in the story, she was saying, I wanted to get off at 5, but if they would have told me, look, if you get off at 5, you got to come in early. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Work with me. What can I do to make this work for everybody? They have to do that. And she won because they didn't do that. Some companies, a lot of companies here in America, they do not care about their workers. They look at their workers as they're not even people. They're just like pieces of machinery. They're just pieces of machinery. Bring the machine in and have the machine do the work. They don't care about you as a person. That exists here in the United States, and it's quite widespread. Anthony says companies here want to let you know who is in control. Yeah. And look, if you are at a great company because they exist as well, good. And be thankful for that. If you have a strong union, be thankful for that. Be thankful for that. The way I look at working for a company is, when I was somewhere and people wanted me to do stuff, but I was not here. I'm gone. And somebody was like, I said, look, if I drop dead tomorrow, they get somebody to fill that spot and not miss a beat. They can act like they need me and I'm the most valuable, this and that. I got a life. Vernon, if your boss fire you, I got you. If you get fired, Vernon, I got you. Trust me. Anthony says, in Germany, never saw as much call off from the job as I have here in the U.S. And that might be because, look, here's what I tell you. If your company treats you right, believe it or not, you want to go to work for them. You want to do a good job. You want to, because y'all show me that y'all care about me. I care about y'all. But when the company don't give a damn, somebody told me you get what you put out. Terry said, I tell my coworker all the time, they would replace you before you buried. So stop stressing over this company. Yep. I already know if I drop dead right now, I imagine Raven would call somebody and she'd be like, Emanuel just died. And they would be like, all right, call 911, but go in there, move him out the way and get on the air. That's what they don't care. "22 minutes after, 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock this afternoon. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. I just talked a little bit about that tribunal, the way that they do things over in the UK. And look, if you out here stressing over your job, stressing because they want you to do this, stressing because they want you to do, stressing because they say they need you to do this, and stressing because they say, and you know, shortchanging your family and yourself and everything else, and you stop. Look, give 100% while you there. Give 100%. Do the best job that you can. And if you can do, you know, but if you can't, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. They gonna pretend like they really need you. They really need, they couldn't make it without you. And they gonna say all that stuff to make you feel like, you know, I gotta do it because they need me.
But if you ask them to prove it financially, they're going to be like, oh, nah.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't want to prove it financially. And, like I was saying on the break, right here. And I think, you know, radio was a decent company. But if I drop dead right now, I imagine Raven would call somebody.
I would. You don't have to imagine.
And
play with my character like that.
And I can tell you already what they would tell her. I already know what they would tell her. Call 911. But move his body out the way and go in there and finish his show.
Yeah.
We can't have dead air. We can't have dead air.
Ironically.
Right. We can't have dead air. Get in there. Start talking. Just start talking. Raven would be in there crying. I think she'd be crying.
I would be boo-hooing. I wouldn't be able to finish your show. So, it's the weekend review. and
they would hear that, and then they would call Lincoln. And they would be like, Lincoln, we need you to just call in. Just drive down there or whatever. Hook up on do it like you do your show, and hook it up and finish his show. We got dead air, and Raven is in there crying.
And then Lincoln would come in here. Emanuel Livingston just dropped dead. Unbelievable.
He should have got the vaccine, see? If he wouldn't have gotten the vaccine, then he wouldn't be dead.
I can't do a Lincoln voice.
That would be the whole show. He should have got the vaccine. He wouldn't be dead.
It don't matter why you dead.
It don't matter. Whatever I died from.
You should have got the vaccine.
It was a product of me having had the coronavirus. He had an aneurysm. See, if he would have gotten the vaccine, the aneurysm wouldn't have got him.
I'm sorry. That's terrible to be laughing at, but that Lincoln voice, man.
But you know I ain't lying. You know I'm not lying.
Oh, no, that's exactly how that would go down.
The whole thing. So, yeah, y'all, you do the best you can just really do the best you can for you. Like, you got a reputation. You building your reputation. Your reputation is exceptionally important. Because you can actually carry that from job to job. The people that you worked with will speak highly of you if you did a good job. So do it for you and let it benefit the company, but don't let them run you into the ground because they don't really care about you. All right. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Got to talk a little bit about R. Kelly. Just a little bit about R. Kelly. Y'all know his trial is still going on. What are we in, like the 4th week of the trial or something like that? Is that what it is? And another woman has come up. And I have to be, y'all going to be mad at me on this one. Raven, you're going to be mad at me. I'm not picking a fight. But you're going to be mad at me on this.
Okay.
I don't know that I believe this one. I don't know that I believe this one.
Is this an assault story or something, or harassment story?
Here's the story that this woman tells. It's a 39-year-old woman. She testified in R. Kelly's trial that she had been abused by him when she was a radio station intern. She says she met R. Kelly at a mall. She hoped to get an interview with him, but she was denied the opportunity for the interview. But she was given his phone number. After a few conversations, she was invited to his studio in Chicago to do the interview. She said, I thought it would really just kickstart my career. They say when she arrived at the studio, R. Kelly sent some of his employees to meet her, and they collected information about her friends and family and made her sign a confidentiality agreement, and they locked her in a room. Now, let me pause. I want to maybe break this story down just a little bit as to why I have a hard time believing her. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just having a hard time believing her. Mr. Kelly, I want to do an interview with you. All right. Well, I'm going to fly you on out to Chicago, and we can sit down and do this interview. All right, cool. Get to Chicago, and then his people meet me at the airport, and then they like, all right, but before we do this interview, what's your mama's maiden name? What's your mama's address? What's your daddy's address? You got kids? Where they go to school? Now, we need all this information before you can do the interview. Like, you don't need none of that information for me to do the interview. I think she said the last 5 people that she had called on her phone, they made her give him all of the information that she had about them. So who is this? What's her name? Lisa? Lisa what? Where she live? How many kids she got? You know her date of birth? What's her mama's maiden name? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not possible, but that doesn't seem like a reasonable person, in my opinion, would say, I'm not giving you all that information. I'm here to do an interview. If this is what this is, forget the interview. But she didn't. So it's possible. Okay. It's possible. Okay, let me get a break in.
How old is she?
Well, she's 39 now. This happened in 2003. You know I ain't all that good at math. Come on, do the math, Raven. How old was she?
Trying real hard, but I'm tired. She was like in her mid-20s somewhere. I'm just trying to see if she was like early 20s, because I can see you being naive enough that if you really want to jumpstart your career and you think that this R. Kelly interview is going to really put you out there, and you like 21, 22, 23, you fresh green in the game. Oh, this interview with R. Kelly going to get me somewhere. You might just be naive enough to answer some inappropriate questions.
All right. Well, let me get a break in. I got to tell you this full story. It's shocking, and for me, ever so slightly unbelievable. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the Black Business Spotlight. Nominate your favorite black-owned business or entrepreneur to be in the Black Business Spotlight each month. The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home.
I don't know if you would have answered those questions. So if with that interview, oh, go ahead, answer. If I go to a job interview and they say, what's your mama's maiden name and her address? Okay, what's your daddy's address? You got kids, where they live and where they go to school. No, tell me where. Give me the address of the school. I'd have been like, I'm not answering that. That ain't got nothing to do with this. I would have said that at 20, at 14, I would have said the same thing. I wouldn't have had no kids, but who's your best friends? I don't understand. I don't understand how I wouldn't have answered. And like somebody said, it was not a job interview. It wasn't. But we're using the job interview thing because, Raven's talking. Y'all can't hear her. She's saying it was actually kind of like a job interview, although not a job interview. And by 2003, we knew about all of this stuff about R. Kelly. Remember, he was on, when did he go on trial? That first time that he actually went on trial, which we knew about that stuff before the trial. When did R. Kelly go on trial? Hold on, let me look that up real quick.
This is the number. I'm producing the show right now. We're actually on air. This is the number to get on air.
2002.
What I would suggest.
2002. He was indicted on 13 counts of child pornography. And then he didn't go to trial until 2008. So in 2002, I just said that when he was indicted, then we knew, hold on, this dude might be shady.
You said in 2002?
Yeah.
Was that the first time any of this stuff ever came up?
No, but that's when he was actually indicted. But this stuff had been out for a long time. Like, people knew this stuff for a long time.
You want to know what's funny? The first time I ever watched Boondocks.
35 minutes after 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. Your talk station, The Afternoon Experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. And I'm talking a little bit about the R. Kelly trial. There was a witness. I did the math. I had to pull out my calculator. I did the math. So she was 21 at the time. Okay? 21 at the time. And she says, I'm going to read it from this article, which, let me see. Where did this article come from? I think this is the Business Insider. Sonia, that's what they call her. She says she met Kelly when she was a single mother in her early 20s, just starting her radio career. She says his staff, I told you she met him and she got the number she called. His staff arranged and paid for her flight to Chicago from Salt Lake City. Well, she missed the first flight. But then she got a later flight that landed her in Chicago in the middle of the night. She took a taxi to the music studio, the Chocolate Factory. She says staff at the front desk, they made a copy of her ID. That sounds reasonable. They looked through her luggage. Okay, that sounds a little reasonable. And they asked for the names and addresses of the last 5 people she called with her cell phone that she brought with her. That I'm not doing. I might, because I'm trying to, give her the benefit of the doubt. I might feel compelled to, because I know, it's some stuff and you try to be, secretive or whatever. So I might say, oh yeah, that's my cousin, that's my aunt, that's my mama, that's my daddy, and that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? I might let you know who were the last 5 people I called. She says, then a staff member asked her if she needed protection. Well, she said she didn't initially understand, but later on she realized that he was asking her, did she need a condom? She told the man, she said, I'm not here for that. That's what she said she told him. She said that's when staff took her to a room where she was told, go in that room and wait for Mr. Kelly. When she realized the door locked from the outside. So now she's locked in this room, but she can't get out because the door locked from the outside. She said she was terrified and embarrassed, and she banged on the door to be let out, but she was not let out except to be escorted to and from a bathroom. This was not a couple minutes, not a couple hours. She was in there for a couple days. She says then eventually, because they didn't give her no food or anything. She says eventually a staff member brought her Chinese food and a drink. And after taking a few bites and a couple sips, she became extremely full and tired. She says she believes she was drugged. And then next thing she knows, she woke up and her underwear was on the arm of the sofa. She says her vaginal area was wet. And she saw R. Kelly in the room kind of doing up his clothes, fixing up his clothes. She says, I didn't know where I was at. It made me feel like something happened to me. I felt like somebody or something had been inside of me. She said after quickly greeting Kelly, he left the room. A staff member later came in and told her she was free to leave. And they made her sign a confidentiality agreement. She never got to interview. And she never shared her story with anyone. She didn't tell anybody that she was raped or anything. She didn't share anything with anyone. She never shared her experiences publicly or privately. Now, the defense cross-examined her, and they went in about her having never reported a rape. They said once she left the studio, she didn't call 911. She even made phone calls from the room. They didn't take her cell phone. So the whole time she was locked in the room, she had her cell phone. They say she didn't make any calls from the cell phone. She said she didn't tell law enforcement about the experience until after she saw the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. And she said once that was released and she spoke with Gloria Allred, that's when she decided to come forward. And
why don't you believe her?
All of the other stories that we've heard, there has been a pattern. This don't fit the pattern. And I had to be honest.
A male didn't fit the pattern either, but I don't disregard his story because he is male and all the rest of his victims were women.
And again, I had to be honest. And I'm just telling you why I'm having a hard time believing her. Again, I'm not saying she's not telling the truth. Me believing you and you telling the truth are not, mutually exclusive. Is that the appropriate terminology?
Yeah.
But she had her cell phone.
Yeah, that part I don't understand.
If the report is correct, she had her cell phone with her in the room that she was locked in while they were escorting her to and from the bathroom. They never took her cell phone and all of that kind of stuff.
And it don't make much sense to me if this is what doesn't make much sense to me is if they went through the lengths of asking her a bunch of inappropriate questions, going through her luggage, making her sign an NDA, why wouldn't they have taken her phone? That seems like unless they just forgot, like that seems like a kind of irresponsible thing to do.
I feel bad that I don't believe her as fully as I want to, because I don't look at it as being out of the realm of possibility. But I don't believe her as much as I want to believe her. I hope that don't make me a bad person.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're not on a jury, so it don't really matter what you believe. If this is indeed a jury case.
It is, and it kind of matters. It matters. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Look, R. Kelly still, if you believe any of these stories, he's a sick person. He needs to be in jail. And needs to never get out. He needs to never get out. But start thinking about what you would do in situations. Not just this situation, but situations, period. Start thinking about what you would do to prepare yourself mentally. You ever watch any of those survival shows? I can't think. There's a particular one that I watched. I can't think of the name of it.
You mean the ones with like Bear Grylls or Grills, however you say his name? The dude who goes out in nature and eats weird stuff.
No. I mean, they have these shows like a what would you do, but it's not what would you do.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're ever in this situation and somebody tries to kidnap you, what do you do?
Yeah.
If you're in this situation and somebody tries to do this, you really got to start thinking about that stuff, men and women. Let me, CK, I'm coming to you right after this break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 FM, 1230 AM. The Buzz of Cincinnati is your talk station. Let's go! From 6 to 10.
And the other thing that makes it difficult for me to wholeheartedly believe her story, and this ain't really fair either, she went and got with Gloria Allred before anything else. And I don't necessarily trust Gloria Allred. I don't necessarily trust her. But I'm not saying you had to, you didn't have to report it initially. And you know, maybe you made some horrible decisions in terms of not calling somebody, and, you know, maybe some not wise decisions in terms of not reporting it. But after it happened, you didn't report it. Okay. But then once you saw Surviving R. Kelly, the first thing you thought was, let me call Gloria Allred. And that's possible because she's a famous attorney. I honestly do kind of feel bad that I don't believe her as much as I want to believe her. I feel like that's a shortcoming on my part. Did she at least call and check on her child she left behind? According to the report that I read, she didn't make any calls when she was trapped in the room, even though she still had her cell phone with her. Yeah, her defense attorney, Kelly's defense attorney, cross-examined the woman about her time in the studio, repeatedly having her admit that she didn't report the alleged rape to the police after being allowed to leave the studio, and she didn't call 911 from inside the room from a cell phone that she had. They never took her cell phone the entire time she was in the room. And I see, this is the kind of stuff that if I'm on the prosecution, I might not put her on the stand. Because here's why I'm still not 100% on the OJ thing. I really believe OJ did it. I really believe it. But there's so much other stuff. I believe, look, OJ did it. They knew OJ did it, but they want to solidify the case. So they put the glove there, and then they put some blood there to solidify the case. If you just let the case be what the case was without the other stuff to take it, to think this is going to get us across the finish line, I have no doubts about OJ. I'd be with a whole lot of y'all. OJ did it. But in this, and even if that happened, see, it feels like y'all piling on a little bit too much. But you can't get to the point where it feel like you trying to stage evidence. Ten minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. Someone says on the live stream on Facebook, her story could lead to reasonable doubt. Her story could lead to reasonable doubt. And I think that's kind of how I'm feeling. If it were me and I was prosecuting that case, I don't think I would put this particular witness on the stand unless I had a number of other witnesses with very similar stories. Because this one, so far, just seems like an outlier, and it make me look at it and say, did he really do that?
Or maybe the prosecution is just really trusting in the fact that, there's strength in numbers. And so I guess the more accusers, the better, maybe. That's the strategy.
I don't know that that's a good strategy. I don't know. We'll see. I think if I was on a jury right now, based on just what I've seen and read, which I'm not watching the trial every day or anything like that. I don't think it's actually being televised anywhere. So I don't see the trial on a regular basis, but based on everything that I've read, I think I would still find him guilty of some stuff. I wouldn't have put this one up there. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. CK, you're on the buzz.
Hey, Emanuel Livingston.
How you doing, sir?
Man, Raven got you on this one. You just, before the commercial break, you proved it right, because you just said, You preempted it by saying R. Kelly is a very sick man, evil man. He deserves to do the rest of his life in prison. Uh-huh. So that proves the point that her testimony is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if she's telling the truth or not, because you as a juror already has made your mind up. You're going to vote guilty. You're not going to let a guy off that you think should spend the rest of his life in prison and is very sick and evil.
Well,
so, you proved Raven right.
Well, I don't know I I'm telling you, I don't necessarily know that to be the case with a lot of jurors. If I feel like, because again, I go back to OJ. Like, I believe OJ did it.
No. What the hell?
CK.
What, they put something in your drink?
CK,
You been hanging around Cosby.
Oh my goodness. CK, let me get it out. Like, I believe OJ did it, right?
Oh my God.
But I believe they tried to shore up the case. And I believe that glove was planted. I believe drops of blood were planted. I believe
because he didn't do it. He did. You don't have to plant evidence on somebody that killed somebody. But the evidence is there.
See, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I believe, is that the evidence was there, but they wanted to lock it down. And man, how much stronger would our case be if one of the gloves was at the scene and the other one was at OJ's house? How much stronger would our case be if we found his blood drops all over the place at the scene, and at his house there was blood drops from the victims as well? How strong would our case be? Like, we got him, but this'll lock it down. And that's what gives people reasonable doubt. Like, I might believe he did it, but I can't trust y'all because I don't trust all the evidence.
No, because you got to understand, as law enforcement, you try to frame people for crimes they didn't do. The crimes that they did is obvious, because remember, he decapitated Nicole, and Ron Goldman gave up a big fight. So the defensive wounds and blood is going to be everywhere. It's not going to just be drops, Emanuel. So this proves his innocence.
But
if he really killed those two people, it would have been blood smeared all over the Ford Bronco, not just a couple drops.
But CK, understand this. And I'm telling you from lawyers, so this ain't first-hand information, this is second-hand information.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Thing. This is second-hand information, okay?
Okay.
I've had lawyers say to me that they've had clients who said, okay, I did this and I did that, but that other evidence, I didn't do that. And they planted evidence. The point being that, hey, you all right, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm listening. No.
I hear a lot of rustling and squeaky doors and such. But they plant evidence and whatnot to try to make the case stronger. CK?
Hello?
What are you doing? Oh my God. CK!
Listening on the phone. Can you hear me? Hello?
What is going on?
What's wrong with the phone? You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I just walked up through the steps. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right.
Now, you said the evidence with the O.J. Simpson planting the blood.
Basically, just long story short, Emanuel just explained that a lot of times they do stuff like plant evidence because while they know the case itself is pretty solid, they want to make sure the thread goes through the needle, so to speak.
But all I'm trying to tell you, as far as that case, it was so obvious, because then you had Mark Furman planting the evidence. He hated black people with a passion. O.J. loved white people more than any black person ever to walk the earth. So he would never murder them. He liked white people. You got to understand. He did beat on her. He did commit domestic violence, but he did not murder her and Ron Goldman. He had too much to lose. He's not a killer. That's not what he does.
Okay, you're getting off on the example instead of what we're actually talking about.
No, I'm saying you got to stop believing what these people tell you. Just because he made it as a Heisman Trophy winner and an actor doesn't mean that he would kill a white person.
Did you just say O.J. Simpson was an actor?
We're not talking about O.J. Simpson, though. I mean, I brought it up just to point out that sometimes I believe that law enforcement would do a little something to lock the case down. Even though they got a solid case, they like, if we just had this, that would shore everything up. And I believe that's what they did with O.J., and I believe this might be along those same lines with R. Kelly.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, far as Raven was right. It doesn't matter if she's telling the truth or not. As a juror, you already made up in your mind he's a very evil and sick man. He deserves to do the rest of his life in jail. So with this is how you get the conviction. The testimony doesn't really matter if it's true or not, long as you think he's evil, sick, and he needs to be taken off the streets for the rest of his life. So that's what I'm saying. The evidence doesn't mean anything. It means what you're going to say, guilty or not guilty.
But that's what
in this case, you're saying guilty.
CK, I'm trying to tell you, if the evidence don't add up, I'm going to have to say not guilty. Because now...
On an evil man that you think...
Yes.
You said he evil.
Yes. But if the evidence don't add up, I'm not convicting.
You can't put an evil man that's sick back on the street. Then the next victim blood is on your hands.
No.
Now you got blood on your hands because you freed them. You knew the man was sick, and you put him back on the street as a juror, and you knew he was sick.
Oh my goodness, that's
what conclusion? What evidence gave you that he's sick and don't need to be on the street? Where did you get that conclusion from?
What I'm telling you is, even if I think you did it, but the evidence don't all add up. Just because I think you did it, the thing is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it. I can think you did it all day, but if you don't give me evidence that proves beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to have to say not guilty. And I don't know blood is on my hands. The blood is on the hands of the people who couldn't prove the case.
But where did you draw the conclusion that he's an evil man and a sick man and should never be let out of prison? Where did you get that evidence to make you draw that conclusion if they didn't prove that to you? They must have proved it somewhere for you to think that.
Hold on. They convinced me of some things, and that's a little different than proving. Like, I might believe a story. I might hear so much that I'm like, he probably did that stuff, but there's not enough there to prove that he did it.
Interesting. That's very interesting. But I'm saying the way our justice system works, that's why we have so many innocent people in prison, is because the evidence doesn't make the jury don't look at the evidence. They already have their mind made up.
No,
that's
actually,
why they go by public opinion.
Actually, CK, is what you're saying is why we have so many innocent people potentially in prison. You're saying if you look at this person and you believe a part of this story, a part of that story, and then it makes you believe he might have did that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying at that point, vote guilty. And I'm saying just because I believe he probably did, don't mean that they proved beyond a reasonable doubt. There's a difference in your belief in something and proof of something.
Right. Proof, like you said, they never proved anything against the Honorable Tracy Hunter, but we still have people on our side voting they're guilty. We got to convince people that's on our team. If they put us up on trial, you got to go not guilty. It don't matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If we had the same thought process, I don't care what evidence you're going, I'm going to vote her not guilty. You got to play teams. It's about teams. It's not about going with the evidence. I'm not finna give you a fair shot. I don't care what you say, what evidence you come with. I'm going not guilty because of the team I'm on, because y'all playing by the same game. Y'all don't care about the evidence, so I don't care about the evidence. I got to vote with the black judge. Why would I vote against her? I'm black.
All right. CK, I'm just telling you, no matter who it is, if I'm on a jury and the case is proven to me beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to vote guilty. But if it's not, no matter how much I think you did that thing, like, they didn't prove it. I still believe he did it. But they didn't prove it. So I got to find him not guilty. All right, let me get this break in. That's the way it works. I think OJ should have been found not guilty, even though I think he did that stuff, because they didn't prove it, because I don't trust some of the evidence, which makes me question all of the evidence. That's what I'm saying about this, because I don't necessarily believe this story. It makes me question all of the stories. Carl, you're up next. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WDBZ, Cincinnati, an Urban One station, minority controlled and operated, and serving the African American community for over 40 years. We are 101.5 The Buzz, your talk station.
Honey, could you put your seatbelt on? Not the boss. Actually, I am the boss, so could you buckle up?
They'll push you to the edge of your sanity, because that's what kids do.
Emanuel didn't do anything rude. Y'all can't accuse me of having done anything rude at all today. I have been on what some people would say is my best behavior all day. The only thing that I could be confused or accused of being rude about today, only thing, is not telling Raven when Billy D. Williams got that perm. That's the only thing. And that's a journey that she has to go on for herself. I don't want to take the journey from her. But that's it. That's the only thing. Other than that, I have been on my best behavior. Are you in there Googling when Billy D. Williams got his perm? That's not how you find out. That is not the journey. That is not the journey. So you're trying to take a shortcut. Didn't you see Wonder Woman 1984? Don't matter. The beginning of the movie, when she was doing the obstacle course and she cheated, she took a shortcut. That's why she lost. It's about the entire journey. Google is not the journey. Google is the shortcut. Four minutes after, 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock this afternoon, 749-1230. It's the week in review. So if it happened, you can give me a call and we'll talk about it. Give me a call and we'll talk about it. Carl, you're on The Buzz.
Hey, what's going on, Manuel?
How you doing?
Hey, listen, man, I never called a radio station in my life. That CK just, I don't know how you guys do it. How did he not understand what you were saying?
I don't know.
You were saying, you know, sometimes they plant evidence just to shore up, in their eyes, to shore up the case. You know, they want to make the case stronger, like they planted an extra glove or something with OJ. And CK just did not understand. I'm sitting there like, man, I don't see how you guys do it, man. I couldn't do it. I mean, my hair would be gray. I got the salt and pepper going on now, but after one day, my hair would be gray.
I don't know, but I mean, that really is, it's a real thing. I mean, I really believe we saw it in the OJ case. And again, having talked to some attorneys, I remember actually having a conversation. I don't remember if it was this studio or if it was when we were in Roseline, and Leslie Isaiah Gaines was in. And we were on a break. He was hosting the show. It was a controversial show, but he was hosting the show. And on one of the breaks, I was asking him something, and he was kind of not, he wasn't giving me all the details, but he was telling me of a case where, you know, the client had even admitted to him that he did it. But I believe he was saying the way that he got the client off was because the client admitted, yeah, I did that. But I think that fingerprint they found over there couldn't have been mine because I never went in that room. And,
right, CK. What he's saying, they planted that extra fingerprint,
right,
to try to shore up the case. All right, that's all I got, man. I don't see how y'all do it.
All right, Carl.
All right, have a good one, bro.
All right. 749-1230. Yeah, and I believe he was telling me, I don't remember if he said he got the guy off or he didn't get the guy off, but he was saying that gave him, because he was saying he always tell his clients, don't lie to me. Like, you ain't got to tell me you did it, but don't lie and say you didn't do it if you did it. If that's yours, don't say it ain't yours. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to admit everything, but don't lie to me. And he was saying that this particular client was admitting stuff to him. And I don't know if it was a fingerprint. I can't remember what it was. It was something, and it gave him something to target. It gave him a piece of evidence to bring and call into question, because he knew that that wasn't from his client. And that helped him out with the case. I want to say he said he won the case, but I don't remember. I just remember having that conversation with him and with a few other attorneys. So, you know, that's the way it go down sometimes. And in this particular case, with this particular woman, I wouldn't have put her on the stand. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Donnie? All right. Let me get Donnie in. Donnie, you're on the buzz.
Man, how you doing, Nate?
It's Emanuel. I'm fantastic.
I'm Emanuel. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm calling in. I'm catching the tail end of the conversation a couple of callers ago about them planting evidence. And something in my spirit kind of gets me upset listening to this conversation about them planting evidence, okay, and us being a predominantly black station, trying to logically wrap our minds around justifying them trying to assure a case up by planting evidence. If it's a solid case, there shouldn't be a need for that, in my opinion. You know, you don't need to plant evidence if you got a person dead to rights. That's just how I feel about it. And I feel like a lot of black people are getting locked up and, you know, unjustified because they don't have the resources and the lawyers' representation to be able to get them out of these cases. And you got police districts or police stations planting evidence to lock you down. It's like, how many people are innocent and locked up because of this?
Well, Donnie, I agree with you. I'm not sure what you thought you were hearing from this station, but we're not saying that that's okay to do, or at least I'm not saying it's okay to do that. I'm saying that, number one, that does happen, and that if I'm, you know, on a jury and I find out that some evidence was planted, I don't trust none of the evidence from that point forward. I don't trust anybody. That person is going to be found not guilty because everything is tainted.
Right. I agree with you on that. But as far as like the R. Kelly situation, you know, it's not even about opinions. That's why they weed out a lot of the jury selection, because if you got strong presented to you, you shouldn't even be on the jury. It's not even about your opinion anymore, because all we know about the media and propaganda. If you ain't got the media on your side, they're going to have you dead to rights before you even try to build to be able to stand trial. So that's why they move a lot of high-profile cases out of the location, just because of the media blitz behind it.
Well, but Donnie, once you done listen to, you know, 5, 7, 10, 11 women tell the same story about the same guy, you were on the jury. At some point, you're looking at that person like, you might be a monster, cuz. You know what I'm saying? And you've made up your mind, not before the case began, but as the case progresses.
But look, if you could, I don't believe it. So you're saying that all these people with representation, just like, okay, the evidence with the Deshaun Watson case down in Houston, you got 5, 6 women with the same story, but they all got the same representation. So how do you know they didn't cooperate with each other and then make a story up? I mean, even if there's 6, 7 people standing against you with the same story, it's still a lie. If they all on the same
I'm going to ask you a really tough question. I just want to make sure that you understand your city and other things, and these are highly researched questions, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you know sports, by the way?
A little bit.
Okay. All right. What color are the Cincinnati Reds named after? What color are the Cincinnati Reds named after?
Hard.
Oh, that's tough.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say red.
Oh, my God, Ted.
Smart guy.
Ted,
Smart.
you have whelmed us. You have whelmed us.
I repeat what I just said. I don't remember. I don't know where it went out. Y'all got to understand it's a delay between, like I was probably talking for a good 30, 40 seconds or so. And then y'all start saying y'all ain't got no sound. And some of y'all even longer depending on your internet connection. So, sorry about that. But one of the things that I did say is that he's one of the people on YouTube. He says, one thing for sure, they better not ever put me on any jury involving us. I guarantee the defendant will go home. Facts. And I'm like, oh, I hope that people don't really think like that. Because there are people out here who are terrorizing the community. They need to be in jail. They need to be off the street. And you can't be like, oh, yeah, he's been on a crime spree. He's killed this many people. He shot a 6-year-old. He shot a 4-year-old. He raped a woman. He did this. He did that. And they got proof. And you like, oh, well, not guilty. Why? Because he black. But we proved it. He's terrorizing people. He's harming the community. Well, but he black, so. Like, no. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Anthony says, I loved being on a jury. Very interesting. They would never let me on a jury. I've never been invited. And I don't think I ever will be. They would not let me on a jury. Raven says when she was 18, when she registered to vote, she got her notice. They'll never let me on a jury. They won't let me be great. Terry says, I was on the jury 2 times. It's interesting. Tria says, yes, it was very interesting. Carl says his jury duty was fun. Carl, I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous with the thought of you being on a jury. I was just a little nervous. Some of the stories you done told us. Or maybe I'm getting you mixed up with Cleveland. Okay. Let me take that back. Was it Carl or Cleveland who told the rapey story? Not that they raped anybody, but that the story was kind of, I gave her some alcohol when she passed out and I took her clothes off and put her in the bed and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know why I get Carl, and Daryl says that was Carl. You sure that wasn't Cleveland? Anthony says it was Cleveland. Carl says both. I don't know what you mean by that. Yes, rapey. Rapey is like when it ain't rape, but the story got that real rapey vibe to it. Like, I can't say that you raped nobody, but I can say that your actions and thought processes were right along the lines of somebody who might rape somebody, you know. Okay, Carl says taking her home, that was Cleveland. Okay. Carl, okay, I think I remember your stories, Carl. I'm not going to bring them back up because I'm not here to bring up trauma. They'll never let me on a jury. After 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Let me get Juan in here. Juan, you're on the buzz.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good. Calling back from yesterday when you were talking about the child support system.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I went through it. I couldn't see my daughter from March to September, so I filed for visitation. And I also got in touch with this organization. It was from L.A. It was called MyChildSaysDaddy.org. And it helps fathers in this situation because he said that when a child is born, the hospital and all these other agencies give the mother all this information on how they can get help, but nothing is given to the father. And so I went to court, and the mother didn't show. And so the judge said, even if
Juan? Oh, I don't know if you're trying to talk to me, Juan. I can't hear you. I kind of hear some rustling or something going on in the background. Juan, are you still there? All right, Juan, you had to call me back. Finish your story. 749-1230. Yeah, Juan, something happened. You disappeared. Lawrence, you're on the bus.
Emmanuel, do me a favor. Raven, do me a favor. You got the computer. See how many people, Google how many people are estimated to get food poison every year in America, and see if they got a number of how many people die from food poisoning.
Why are we doing, why do you want us to do that?
Because, you know what, Emmanuel, listen to this, man. I got a serious beef with these educated blacks and these blacks who are on the bandwagon are getting vaccinated. I'm going to ask them one simple question. Do you remember weapons of mass destruction? The whole damn world was faked out. It took the whole doggone world quite a while to realize that we were being fed a bunch of crap. I asked these so-called black people who just hell-bent on making sure everybody mandate this, man. Remember weapons of mass destruction? Remember how many millions of people died, how many trillions of dollars were spent? Don't tell me that the government and the people who are in power can't orchestrate a real sham. Come on. In this day and age, with the kind of money, Bill Gates is a billionaire, brother, but we got trillionaires. We got people who run the world who are calling the shots. Bill Gates is a front man. You know, hey, they run drugs. Who has the most to gain by making all of us take these shots? The It ain't you, Emanuel. It ain't Raven. It ain't most. And I'm gonna tell you something. Everywhere I go, I ask common black people, hey, bro, hell no, I ain't taking that shot. So who are they fooling? Who's getting hoodwinked? You know, come on, Emanuel. Weapons of mass destruction and all the millions and billions and all the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people who died. The whole world was faked out. And then we act like we got short memory recall. All I can say is, Emanuel, now we going to see who's real and who ain't. I believe in liberty. You have the right. Seeing these people say, well, you can infect other people. How often do I come in contact with the people who advocating the shot? Joe Madison on Sirius XM. That black man done lost his doggone mind, and he's from Dayton, Ohio. He gone cuckoo for Cocoa Pop. And you hear all these black people on Sirius XM, but here's the catch. The black PhDs who are respected and got credentials that talk on Carl Nelson's show, WOL 1450, one of Kathy Hughes' flagship shows. Hey, nobody is calling these black folks a lie. I'm waiting on somebody to call them out. Hey, Emanuel,
hold on, let me ask you this, Lawrence. What are they saying in your mind that is an actual lie?
Hey, you can do Carl Nelson's show on demand, I think.
I'm just asking, what are they saying that's a lie?
Here we go. I wish I would have taped it, but I'm going to try to paraphrase basically what this. These are renowned doctors with the credentials. They said point blank. Dr. Fox, all these different doctors, they saying point blank. This is based upon a time-release vaccine. And you had a bunch of doctors come before Congress say,
what are they saying? What are they saying that's not true?
They saying that this is population control. I believe it. Most people I talk to in the military believe it.
Lawrence.
Most people, hey, Emanuel, if you want to take it, brother, take it.
Lawrence, what are they saying that is not true?
I don't think they're telling us the truth. This is the whole doggone point.
So what? Hold on.
Why you think you can't sue them? If something happened to you, why is it you think that they won't let you sue the pharmaceuticals, bro?
Lawrence, you said they're lying. I'm saying, okay.
They're saying there's no side effects. That's birth control. They saying this. The Johnson & Johnson is supposed to give women blood clots and so forth. See, this is what I'm saying, Emanuel. A lot of people are dying from it, and they withholding information. If we had all the necessary information put before us, and then these doctors broke down.
Okay, Lawrence, hold on. So you're not saying that they're lying. You're saying that they're not giving all of the pertinent information.
Oh, they're doing that, but they're also lying. They're saying that it ain't no side effect. See, at first they said take it.
No one, I haven't. Hold on, Lawrence. Who said that there are no side effects? Who said that?
When it first came out, bruh, they were hawking no side effects, and this is to prevent you from getting it. Now you can take the shot, and they say it lessens the severity.
Lawrence?
Yeah, bruh.
Who said that there were no side effects?
Oh, man, so many of these talking heads, the black talking heads, the intellectuals. Joe Madison, boy. Lincoln Ware ain't got nothing compared to Joe Madison. Joe Madison is off the reservation, bro. That black man, if you say you have a different opinion about the COVID or the shot, that dude go after you like you disrespected his mama. I'm serious. And you got a lot of black talk show hosts who come after black people who say they don't want to take the shot. Didn't you say that some people are getting money? Didn't you say that one day on your show that some of these people who work on the broadcasting are getting money?
Yes, but Lawrence, hold on.
Hold it, Emanuel. Whoa. Let's explore that, brother. You are privy to information that we in the general public need to know more.
Lawrence.
Yeah, bro.
I agree with you that some people are way over the top with pushing the vaccine. I agree with you. And if you don't want to take it, you know what I'm saying? You get with your people, you figure out whatever. I think you should have a right to make that decision for yourself. And I don't think people should wish you dead because you don't agree with their position on the vaccine and all of that kind of stuff. But But I think you are kind of going pretty far on the other side. See, I'm against bad information. I don't ever recall hearing anyone say there will be 0 side effects. I don't remember anybody saying that. No one said that. No one. You made that up.
No.
Yeah,
Hey, Emanuel.
You made that up.
Emanuel, they even brought people on TV who said they took the shot and what nothing going on. Man, I'm
that
telling
means
you, it's all
they
matter
didn't
of
have
history.
any side effects, but they didn't say that there can't be any side effects.
Now
I'm against.
Now we parsing.
I'm
Okay.
yes, yes,
stand
we're parsing.
Hold it. I stand corrected. I'm not going to belittle or argue that point. I stand corrected. See, but the bottom line of it is, to the less informed, these people are doing serious damage in the black community, because if you can force me to take a shot that's not proven, and you got a lot of well-known doctors talking against it,
is your son going to take it?
Oh, he's still in the military. He took the Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
We discussed it, and like I said, that's his career, and I'm not hating on him. And I give you the why he took that. He said, look, I'm gonna put it out there. Fuck it. Excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. You can't say F it on the air? Oh, my goodness. Let me take a break. Juan, I'm coming back to you. Sister Dorothy, I'm coming to you. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Here's what you need to know with
Yeah, you can't say F it on the air. Your son took the shot. There's nothing wrong with taking the shot. You don't have to explain. I mean, let me explain why I did F it. No, he took it. And look, I want y'all, like super pro-vaxxers, to hear what I heard. Hear it through my ears, because this is how a lot of people are receiving it. His son ended up taking the vaccine. But he feels, because y'all done shamed him so much for having a slightly different opinion than y'all, then now he got to explain it. And he feels some level of shame because his son took it. That's y'all fault. Stop trying to shame people. Let people come to this. I believe if y'all, number one, if people stop giving out bad information on both sides. Stop giving out bad information. Stop making stuff up. Lincoln ain't see no damn antibodies. And ain't nobody told Lawrence that there would be no side effects. But everybody want to do just a little bit of embellishing to make their side better. Just tell the truth. There are some side effects. And, yeah, you ain't seen no damn antibodies. But you believe when doctors say that whatever about the antibodies. And let people make their decision and not feel any shame about taking the shot. I'm a little different in that if I decide tomorrow to go get the vaccine, I don't care about y'all. I'm going to just go get the vaccine. But I do know if I go get the vaccine tomorrow, somebody going to be, I told you he was going to get that vaccine. See, I knew he was going to get it. I knew he didn't want to lose his job. I knew he didn't want to not be able to go to the concert. I knew he didn't want to, and then try to shame you for getting the vaccine. And that's, some people are like, ooh, I don't want to hear people say all of that kind of stuff. I don't want to hear people trying to shame me because I got the vaccine. So now I'm not going to get it, even though I think it might be the best idea. I'm not going to get it. Do that make them a little weak? Yeah, it make them a little weak, but there's a lot of weak people out there. And y'all trying to shame them, and they know y'all going to shame them when they get it. Stop on both sides lying and giving misinformation. The vaccine is not perfect, but it's not poison. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhere in between. That's what drives me crazy about the super pro-vaccine people. Like when people point out that they have legitimate concerns. They fools. And the lady said, I trust God. And people start wishing that she die. Because you trust God, people are wishing that you die? That's too far. The vaccine people talking about the non-vaccine people giving out misinformation, and the non-vaccine people talking about the vaccine people giving out misinformation. They're both right. When you say stuff like, if you don't take the vaccine, you got two choices or three choices. Take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine, or what are they saying? You either gonna take the vaccine, be on a ventilator, or die. Those are your choices. That's just misinformation. That's scare tactics. It's too much. Thirty-six minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Juan, you're back.
Yes. Sorry about that. They brought my car out and it was connected to the Bluetooth.
Ah, okay.
Yep. So with the child support, I went through the system. My daughter's mother wouldn't let me see her starting in March. So I tried to file. I filed for visitation, but I didn't know her address. But I knew what complex she lived in. So I went to the leasing office with the paperwork, and they wouldn't tell me, the address. And I was like, look, I'll give you the paperwork. You, fill it out and mail it off for me. And then they couldn't do it. Then they called the police to see what they recommend as far as, rights and all that stuff. So the police came out, they couldn't do it either. So anyway, I went to court. But before I went to court, I got with an organization out of L.A. called MyChildSaysDaddy.org.
All right.
It's an organization for fathers. Because they said that when a mother gives birth, the hospital gives all these different resources to the mother, but the father doesn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the father doesn't know his rights or nothing. So I talked with them, and then, they were like, get a lawyer. And I told them that they asked me about my child support. I said, in the beginning, I was in the rear. And then because I wasn't working, and then I started driving truck, and I was paying the rearage. And once I got caught up, my company told me that my payments were going to reduce. And I said, no, keep it the same. So they thought it was strange because they had never heard of that. And I went to court. She didn't show. And the judge told me, even if she would have showed, it wouldn't have made a difference. Because I saw my daughter before March. I saw her after September. And according to the law says that you can spend adequate time with your child, but it doesn't define what adequate time is. So since you saw her before March and before March and after September, according to the law, that's adequate time. So there was really nothing that the court could do. And the judge also told me that the mistakes that fathers make, that when they first go to child support court, they need to ask for visitation then. Because if you wait, then that's when you're going to have the problem that I have. So what ended up happening, since I wouldn't let my company reduce my payments, I ended up paying off my child support early, which pissed off the mother because she thought she was getting over. And in Ohio, you stop paying child support either when the child turns 18 or graduates from high school, whichever comes first. So since I was paying more each week, that's what ended my child support early.
And what about your relationship with your child? Like, did y'all ever get the visitation stuff right?
Yeah, well, what I ended up doing was, before I would ask the mother, could I get her this weekend, I would always ask to talk to my daughter first. And I would talk to her, and I was like, hey, you want Daddy to come get you this weekend? She was like, yeah. I said, okay, let me talk to your mom and ask her. So she'd get her mom on the phone. Her mom would say no. And then I say, okay, put her back on the phone. And then I said, look, baby, I asked your mother if I could come get you, and your mother said no. I'm just letting you know I tried. And my girlfriend at the time was, why do you talk to your daughter as if she understands what you're actually saying? I said, because one day she's going to pick up on it and she's going to understand. And then she's going to start asking questions. I said, and once she started asking questions, there's nothing her mother could do. So that's what was going on during that time. And then when I got her in September, I was still thinking I would get her, but the mother would not let me know where they lived. So I would have to meet her at the gas station. And that went on for like a month or two. And then we got to the gas station. I said, call your mom, let her know we're here. And then she's like, I'm going to call her. I'm going to let her know that we're back, but you're taking me home today. And I said, okay. And she showed me where she lived. And then after that, there was nothing that she could do.
But you never went back to court and got an order so that you didn't have to ask for permission?
Nope. I just prayed that my daughter would finally start asking questions. Okay. And that's what ended up happening.
Okay.
My daughter started saying that I want to see Daddy.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you, and you know, hopefully you have a wonderful relationship with your daughter, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. But I hope I don't know if that organization is still around, but it was called mychildsaysdaddy.org.
Okay. Juan, I appreciate you calling back in and telling us the story and giving us that information.
All right, brother. Be safe.
You do the same. All right. I want people to know, though, you can go and get those orders modified. Custody orders get changed all the time. Visitation orders get changed all the time. You might have to fight. But those orders do get changed. You can get, just because this is what it is now, doesn't mean that's set in stone for 18 years or however many, you know what I'm saying? You can get those orders changed. So I just don't give up on your child. That's the most important thing. Don't give up on your child and your relationship with your child. And I believe, you know, children, they may not know, but they'll appreciate it. They'll appreciate you not giving up.
And even if they don't appreciate immediately, at some point, it's always a possibility. Like, it just depends on whether or not you are faithful enough to continue to put up the fight to make it work. Like, I never expected for me and my dad to get to a point where we could actually sit down and talk about my childhood and talk about stuff. And I actually gained an understanding about a lot of the things he did. And I was able to forgive him. Even though he still made mistakes, he still didn't do everything he was supposed to do. I still was able to forgive him because life. I got older. I understood some stuff about life. And eventually me and him got to a point where we can sit down and have a conversation. Don't give up on having that moment with your kid, because it does. As the kid speaking in this situation, it did amazing things for me. So just never give up. From the kid to the possible parent that's listening right now, don't ever give up.
And I don't remember exactly who it was that we talked to. And somebody's saying, keep the courts out of your business. If you can, yes. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. And since we're having this conversation from the perspective of a man wanting to be in their child's life, the idea of keep the courts out might sound good to somebody. But if you want to see your kid and there's no order, and the child lives with the mother, the mother get to say no. No, I haven't seen my kid in a week. So what? I haven't seen my kid in a month. So what? I haven't seen my kid in a year. There's nothing you can do. You can't call the police and say, she got my kid and I can't see my kid. So yeah, if you're dealing with, if it's two reasonable people, be reasonable. You don't need all of that. But a lot of these cases, you're dealing with people who aren't reasonable. And so you need something to say, I don't have to have your permission to have a relationship with my child. I get to have a relationship with my child because it's my child. And that's when the court might have to come in. That's when the court might have to come in. Because, and don't think that just because you got a court order, people are going to abide by the court order always. That don't always happen. So sometimes you do need to go back to court and say, look, I was supposed to have my child. I ain't seen my child in 2 months because she won't let me. And then have the courts actually have to. So there are times when you can use the courts as a resource, even though the courts don't always do what they supposed to do on that other side. Yeah, let you bring that kid back late, a day, an hour, sometimes 10 minutes. Police are being called and you got people at your house, like you kidnapping or something. But let them say, no, you can't see the child for 6 months. Well, that's not really worthy of holding nobody in contempt. I'm telling y'all that happens. That stuff all happens. 749-1230. Ethan and Sister Dorothy, you two are coming up after the break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5, The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the Black Business Spotlight. This month, we are...
But I agree. If you don't need to get the court in your business, and if you can not deal with them, that's best. Like, be two reasonable adults thinking about the child. Two reasonable adults thinking about the child. If you can do that. And Brent said something about parents shouldn't what he said. It's imperative that the mother and the father do not talk negatively about each other in front of the child. If either one is actually no good, it will come out over time. That's true, but that can be hard. It's true, but it can be hard. And different people think different things as talking negatively. Like, I try, even though I know y'all think I be, just sharing everything, but I try not to share too much in terms of the things that I went through. But I do remember at one point, she changed the number. So I'm trying to call my daughter, and I can't call her. And then she wouldn't let my daughter use the phone. And I remember my daughter saying to me, why you don't call me no more, Daddy? And I'm like, I was trying to call you. And that kind of sounded like an excuse, but I'm trying to not be like, your mama changed the number because she trifling. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to say that. But I'm like, and, people was, oh, you shouldn't tell her, this happened and you shouldn't tell her that happened. That's talking bad about the mother. Different people think different things. Sometimes you just got to be honest. And actually, when I told her, like, I tried to call you, but y'all number ain't the same. She like, whatever. She didn't believe me. But then her sister, who was older, came and told her, like, no, the number ain't the same. And then she believed her sister. But people in the family were still mad at me. Like, why did you tell her that? I'm like, she's asking me why I don't call her. My daughter can't be sitting around thinking I don't want to call her and I don't want to talk to her. She got to know there's a reason why I wasn't getting in touch with her. But then you making her mama look bad. No, her mama making herself look bad. But you talking negative about her is what they were saying. So different people have different ideas of what talking negative is. But I understand, like, I wasn't ever like, that B is a H and she ain't S and F her and she's a horrible person and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I would never do that. Right. No, I agree with you, Brett, but other people didn't view it that way. Other people, familial people, say, oh, you painting her in a bad light. It makes her look bad. And I was with you. Like, no, that's just the truth. I'm just telling the truth. So when I'm just clarifying, when you say don't talk negative about, you're saying, like, don't be insulting and all of that kind of stuff. But there are people who perceived what I did as talking negative. Say they always tell the men to be the adult on a large scale. Never tell these women to do the right thing. Why would they, when the courts, where were they? When the courts backed they toxic behavior, where were they? I'm not exactly sure. You got a word mixed up in there. But I think I get the general principle. Nine minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5. The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. Al Sharpton is up next. You don't want to miss him. You don't want to miss him. And, Miami football is back. The game kicks off tomorrow at noon right here. I think they're playing Minnesota. Is that the battle for the keg of nails or whatever it is? I don't remember which one it is. But you definitely, it's a little rivalry game with Miami. You want to check it out. Pre-game starts at 11. The game starts at noon right here on 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. Definitely want to check it out. Let me get back to these phones. Sister Dorothy, you're on The Buzz.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
A few things. When it comes to relationships, for the younger people that are coming up and who don't have parents, and if they're alive, if they need to talk to one another, forgive each other, and go inside their mind and see where that person made the wrong decision. Don't keep blaming somebody else. Blame yourself first. And then maybe you can come to more decisions on how to handle what's taking place with us as a people, because we've been in a world that if God said this world is an intimacy with him, then we have to think about who have we been dealing with. I'm not saying sometimes they can do good when they want to, as long as the money is right. But when it comes to us as a people, we have been destroyed. We have been really destroyed, because there wouldn't be no need for a God of righteousness to come if everything was all right. So a change is coming about in the world, especially today. And we have disrespected, including myself, the God of the universe. We were taught wrong by the preachers. A lot of them didn't teach us and go in to the deep teaching. That's the reason that God said, gave us a man. He came from the east into the west to let us know. That's the first thing. The second, the virus, the shots. I heard Biden say they're good. They're not good. They're killing. They're destroying.
Hold on.
And wait a minute. Let me just get this one point out. In that virus that causes sometimes dizziness and blood clots, people are falling out and they're going to the hospital with blood clots.
Okay.
In them. So it's not. Only God is going. It says God is in control because of our disobedience. Now, what would you get ready to say, Amen?
Nothing. I'm sorry. You were talking about the virus. I thought you were talking about the vaccine.
That comes from the vaccine. The vaccine. Okay, what I'm saying is, when you get a shot, when you get the
vaccine.
The vaccine. Okay, I call it. Well, okay, the vaccine that they give, you don't know what's in it. They putting everything in it, and that's causing.
Hold on. Wait a minute. When you say they putting everything in it,
anything in it, feces and everything, poison.
I don't think that they are putting feces and poison in the vaccine.
No, you wouldn't think it because you think like them.
What?
See, you have to understand that when you're given some information, even some of the I heard a nurse. I can't find, if I can find that page again on my Facebook, I had it. She said she was Caucasian too at that, and she wasn't taking the shot. But you know what? We're going to say it like this. Nowadays, for warning is over. And there's a scripture that says that we're taught to pray. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Praises be to Allah, but establish justice for the righteous. And we're getting ready to see a day like we have never seen. We're going to be somewhat all right because we've been fooled for so long. But those who refuse to listen.
Can I just say this?
Yes, sir. Say what you want to say.
I think you cannot believe in taking the shot. You can believe that you can do it without the shot, that you can deal with the virus without taking the shot, without saying stuff like they're putting feces in it. And
they're putting a lot of things in. Just like when they give you a shot, Emanuel, for cancer. I mean, I don't know why I can't keep up with that. But they gave us shots that had cancer in it to see if you would get the cancer. But I can't think of the name of the shot right now. The smallpox, what they did to the Indians, they gave the syphilis. So they let us know they experiment with us.
I think a lot of people remember that syphilis study wrong.
Well,
they didn't actually give them syphilis.
I said they gave them the shot. They gave the men the shot, and the men that had syphilis in it, and then the men went and had a sexual relationship with women and gave them the syphilis.
No, the men had syphilis. And they
okay.
Hold on, let me get it out. The men had syphilis, and they gave them a shot, pretended to give them the cure, so to speak, for syphilis, but they didn't. But the men thought that they did, and then they wanted to see how it progressed. But they didn't actually give them syphilis.
They gave them a shot that had it in it.
No.
Okay, Emanuel. All right. You know, it's one thing about I believe in. It says Satan deceived the whole world, and when you have men of the true and living God today to teach us the right way, then there's no way that you can. It says.
There's nothing wrong.
Can a devil fool a Muslim? Not nowadays. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right.
So you can believe what you want to believe.
All right. And so can you. So can you. Yeah, no, you misunderstand it, though. And there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people have heard it, and it's gone on and on and on for years, and everybody doesn't know. But, yeah, that was the deal. Let me get Ethan in here before we get out of here. Ethan, you're on the buzz.
Hey, what's up, Emanuel? I won't take too long. Listen, Joe Biden must think he a king. I mean, it's no difference between what Joe Biden did yesterday and what Donald Trump and the Republicans are trying to do when it comes to voter suppression. And, I mean, man, I can't vote for either one of them. Both of them are bad presidents from different things like that. And real quick, Emanuel, thanks for what you told Brent last week. Brent just don't get it. He don't see. So it's okay. Sometimes people don't see different things that's going on, just like that so-called war in Afghanistan. That was not a war. That was an occupation. 20 years, that wasn't a war. What do you think?
I agree, but I got to get out of here.
All right, now.
All right, thanks for your call. No, don't call 749-1230 because I'm going off. Got to get out of here. Raven, thank you for everything that you do. Everybody who called, everybody who listened. I appreciate you. Al Sharpton is up next. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace. They did, Lady K, they did still experiment on us. And I wasn't saying that they didn't, but just look, when you are, I'm going to use the term debate. When you're debating with somebody, exchanging ideas, why give that person an easy opening to shoot down what you're saying because you're factually inaccurate when you can be factually accurate and still make the same point? So that's all I was trying to get her to understand, is that your understanding of how everything went down is a little wrong. You can still make the point that you're making, but have the right information. They did still experiment, just not in the way that you think, but it's easy then now to dismiss you as somebody who don't know anything. If I can say, see, she think they gave them people syphilis. See, she don't even know what she talking about. Now I've just totally dismissed you and your point. All right. Have a good weekend. All right. So that's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to diminish her or anything like that. But that people do function like that. And so I don't want her point to be dismissed because some of her facts are inaccurate. LaDonna, you have a blessed weekend, or somebody would say blessed weekend. Oh, all right. I got somewhere to be at 4 o'clock today, and I got to be there today at 4 o'clock. I'll be sitting here talking to y'all, and 4 o'clock roll around, and I'll be to miss that. 513 say, oh, you come in. I'm on the stream here, but.
Well, call me when you get off. You ain't get my text message?
No, what text message? Oh, okay. I did not see a text message.
I'm working on something I need your help with.
Okay.
Because I want to get one of these, and I'm trying to figure some stuff out, and I'm going back and forth with.
I'm not sure where they got this from. That's an angel.
Okay.
Even though, yeah, that's an angel.
Okay.
But yeah, those, I'll give you the link to those.
Okay, thank you.
They not cheap.
Oh yeah, I figured. I'm
okay.
talking with a man right now about this old camera he want to use, and I'm telling him it's not gonna work, but he's more older. You know, he ain't listening.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to have my battle fight.
Okay.
So please help me.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Brent says, please, E-Man, tell us another story. I don't have any stories. I'm sorry. I don't have any stories. I don't. Carl says, bye, y'all. Bye, Carl. What was I about to say? 513 dude say, oh, hell no, you fumbled that. Don't put that on me, sir. He said, I'm just going to read the words and maybe they'll come out right, okay? They always tell the men to be adult on large scale. Never tell these women to do the right thing, but why would they? Why would they when the courts back they toxic behavior? So there you go. Did I find her a cassette player? I hope she's not watching. Yes, I did find her a cassette player. I ordered it. It should be in tomorrow, hopefully. I know she don't be watching the live stream because she worked from home. Like, she legit worked. So, but I found it. It'll be delivered tomorrow. And so, yeah, hopefully she'll be happy about it. She can put in her old mixtapes and play them until they break. And all those old CDs. It's a CD. It's a boom box. So I got her a boom box. DeAndre say, not gonna clown nobody today. E-man, I never clown people. I don't believe in that. Enjoy your birthday weekend, Tria. Victoria says that's a nice present. Thank you. You know, I'll be trying. Hey, are you implying that we are not legit working from home? No, I would never imply that. I'm just saying she be like working. Not that y'all not. I'm sure there's some people who don't work when they work from home. Like, they can get in, get their stuff done, and, you know. But when she working, she working. Get her some pencils so she can rewind the tape. 513 dude say, okay, should have been there and they in there. My bad. Okay. Yeah, I think I tried to illustrate the point that you was trying to make. But, you know, when you on this side and you just see it, and then you just trying to read it and, you know, concentrate on all of the other stuff that's happening here, then it can get lost. Spencer says he's going to get the vaccine at 4 today. Well, good for you. Good for you. Spencer was you were on Lincoln Ware show basically saying that people don't get it. But people who don't agree with you, it's not that they don't get it. It's just that they don't agree with you. It's just that they don't agree with you. But you get the vaccine, that works out for you, and good. Good. Oh, Tria says her birthday is actually on Sunday. All right. There's a lot of good birthdays in September. My birthday's also in September. So, yeah. It's a lot of good birthdays in September. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here today because I got some office work to do. Sorry, I can't hang around long. Rodney says OJ did it. I believe OJ did it. Why was he driving with a gun and money? Well, that don't prove that he did it. That don't prove that he did it. Because him, you're talking about on the little low-speed Bronco chase? Yeah, that don't prove that he did it. Brenda says, great show as usual. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me say one thing, and then I'm going to go. You know, I do this show this way. It rubs some people the wrong way. It rubs some people the wrong way, and I understand it. But I do the show the way that I do it for a reason. I do try to be a little more relaxed and, you know, even add little splashes of humor, or at least what I think is funny. Because I view everything, I see humor in everything. Well, in almost everything. I see humor in almost everything. So I know that there are a lot of people who get bothered by the fact that, on this show, I laugh a lot and whatever. And if that bothers you, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because I'm not. But I hope that people can watch/listen to the show and hear the seriousness of the topics. I think when you back people into a corner, you're like super intense and all of that kind of stuff. When you're super intense about stuff, the people who don't necessarily agree with you, it causes them to dig their heels in and just disagree with you harder. You know what I'm saying? If that's a thing. Like, I don't agree. Well, I really don't agree. Now, I definitely don't agree. Now, I hate you and I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't ever gonna... I want people to think. I don't necessarily want people to agree. I want people to think. I think if you think correctly, you will agree with me. I know some people just got mad. So you saying because I'm not agreeing with you, I don't think correctly? No. I'm just being silly even with that. But I want people to think. Listen to the topics and think. And, I feel like if you're a little relaxed and a tad bit lighter, and, people can see, even though these are some of these are like really serious, heavy topics, you can try to lighten them up enough to where people are comfortable sharing and having the discussion. And that's kind of where I think you can, at least from my perspective, where you can meet people, have conversations, talk, and minds can be changed because the perspectives can be seen because it's not as harsh as maybe some other people. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with harsh and hardcore. There's a space for that, but that's just not who I am all the time. So I want y'all to understand, I'm going to be me. And I hope people enjoy it because, I understand. Check it out. I do a show for 3 hours. 3 straight hours. So if you compare me, not that I'm comparing me, but if you compare me to, say, Rachel Maddow, and you like, Rachel Maddow ain't on there keying all day. Rachel Maddow was doing a 1-hour show, a lot of produced spots, and a whole lot of guests. But could you imagine what would Rachel Maddow do if she had to do 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, just serious the whole time, talking about hardcore topics and so on and so forth? I'm not Rachel. I'm not going to be Rachel or Chris Cuomo or, any of those people. We got 3 hours. We're going to talk. We're going to try to have a little fun and try to think. And who knows, we might come up with a solution for something one day. We might, you know what I'm saying? Our conversation somebody might be like, you know what? I was listening to the afternoon experience and I heard one caller say this and that made me think of this. And next thing you know, that person's running for council and they've got an amazing, or they're the mayor and they've got an amazing proposal because of something that they heard one of y'all say. And it's all because we was relaxed enough to listen to each other, to laugh with each other, to sometimes cry with each other, and just be with each other. So, I'ma be me. You be you. This show gonna function differently here and there. But hopefully we doing something and we're, entertaining. Because for 3 hours, I don't want to just listen to nobody talk for 3 hours. Not if it's not, entertaining. Heck, Beyonce don't even get up and perform for 3 straight hours. I know some of y'all love Beyonce. You don't even see 3-hour-long concerts from somebody, let alone 5 days a week, 3 hours long. So it's got to be something entertaining to keep somebody here. And that's that. I just want to let y'all know I don't intend on not being me. So that's about it. I appreciate y'all. I got to get out of here, go do all of this stuff. And I will see y'all, or y'all will see me. I don't actually see y'all. Y'all will see me hopefully on Monday. All right. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.